Hi there guys, my name is the King Live, and today I'm going to show you which gun you should purchase out of the Vandal and the Phantom. Yowza, look at all these guns, dude. This is exciting. Realistically, we're only going to be using one of the two guns. Well, two of the 100 guns right here. Look at those boys right there. Aren't those two cool looking guns? These are very similar if you play Counter-Strike to the AK and the M4. Going to be very familiar for people. Now, a lot of people have mentioned that these guns, the difference between the two is just preference, which is kind of true, but there's also some differences in the damage explicitly. So to say that it's just preference is probably not the correct statement. I'm going to help you figure out what those differences are right now if you haven't really looked into it. If you look at any of the guns, if you just mouse over them, it actually tells you their statistics on the right side. So it'll tell you how much damage it does, from what range, and that'll kind of give you an idea of the differences between these two guns. Okay, so from 0 to 15 meters with the Phantom, it's actually going to be just as good as the Vandal, if not even better, actually. It's going to be a little bit better because it has a faster fire rate and a larger magazine size. And I think the spray's a little bit easier to control, but that's just my preference. If you shoot the guy in the head with one bullet with a Phantom, it's going to kill him. That's all you need. You're aiming for headshots in this game generally. Shoot the boy in the head. Does 156 damage. It's actually kind of hard to shoot one bullet with this gun because of the fast fire rate. But, yeah, 156 damage. That's all you need to kill the boy. It's the same thing with the Vandal. If I pull out the Vandal, I shoot this guy in the head. It's 156 damage. So that's all you're looking for. If you're aiming for one taps within 15 meters, then you could do that. 15 meters, the distance, it's around, like, right here-ish. Yeah, 156 right there. That's with the Vandal. 156 right there. If I step back just a little bit, it's a little bit different. 140. You see, that's not going to one hit. If they and we're doing this in relation to if you have heavy shields. Heavy shields will absorb up to 50 damage. So if I shoot this guy and he has heavy shields from this range, it's not actually going to kill him in one hit. Luckily, this gun fires pretty fast. If you shoot from this range, you can tap 2 bullets pretty quick, and you can get the kill with that. It begins to drop off at around 30 meters. So if you're shooting somebody from this range, you can generally land 2 bullets on the head pretty easily right there, right? So it's not terrible actually from this range. It's when you start to get to farther ranges, right? If you ever go 50 meters, which I wouldn't even recommend going 50 meters with the rifle, but say you are playing this range, you have to one tap to the head for the Vandal. That's going to kill with a Vandal if you hit him in the head, right? If I'm hitting them with a Phantom, this is not going to kill them in the head. It'll do 140-ish. Again, hard to one tap from this range. 124. 124 damage will not one kill them, right? Now, if you hit him with another body shot, that's going to add up to 155. However, just the one headshot could end up losing you the round, right? If the other guy peeks with the Vandal, right, say, and he one-taps you at this range, he's going to win that fight. Your bullets do not travel any faster than this guy's, right? So if he one-taps you and you one-tap him at the exact same time, and you're both using the Phantom and the Vandal, he's going to win this fight, statistically. However, at a closer range, you're going to have the upper hand if you're using a Phantom, just because the gun is going to be firing faster. You get 11 shots per second when you're hip firing with the Phantom, as opposed to the 9 shots per second when you're firing with the Vandal. Beyond this, the spray patterns of the guns are going to be very different. This is where it's going to come kind of into preference. I do recommend learning both guns. I think that I've been finding very situationally, I'll run the Phantom over the AK. Sometimes you're just feeling one over the other as well, so that's a cool thing, but I'll run the Phantom when I'm playing like close angles and stuff, and we'll go into that later. But here's going to be the spray patterns for these. You notice the 30 bullets in this magazine is also a pretty big difference. So if you're running the Phantom, you're going to have a lot more shots to spray down with. This is definitely the gun for closer angles. Now, if you weren't paying too attention to that spray pattern, it's going to be a little bit up, to the right, goes to the left, goes to the right again. So how do you compensate for that? So if you've never played a tactical shooter before, basically what you're going to do to compensate for this, you're going to want to pull down to the left, then to the right again, and then back to the left. You're not going to be able to land all the shots probably in the center, but you can do a pretty decent job with it. This is going to change as you go further away, obviously. You're going to have to do more to compensate. So you're going to have to pull down a little bit more. You're going to have to pull to the left a little bit more. And obviously your spray is going to get worse the further you go. If I go to 50 meters, the spray is going to be ridiculous. This is why generally at a range like 50 meters, you probably shouldn't spray. You should probably tap fire. If you are new to the game, there's no shame. If you're new to tactical shooters, there's no shame in just burst firing, by the way. Even if somebody's at like a range like this, like I said earlier, only takes one hit to the head. Only takes one hit to the head from this range. So if you want to just burst fire this guy, there's nothing wrong with that. As you start to spray, it's going to start going all over the place. And if you're not ready to compensate for that, just tap at him, dude. Nothing wrong with that. You should probably have ammo in your gun, though. Just tap at him. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all that damage. Dude, you did 2k damage to that guy already. Only 26 bullets. It's a lot better to take the time to aim for your shots than it is to just go all over the place trying to spray at the guy. This isn't going to kill anybody. If you see a team of 5 in front of you, don't panic. Don't panic, dude. You see the team of 5 in front of you? All these boys? All these guys? Maybe you're walking behind them, dude. You're sneaking in from the back of the site. You're on this mattress over here. I don't know why this mattress exists. You're like walking in and you see all these dudes, dude. Don't do that. Just come in. Come in. See the dudes? See the dudes? Aim for the headshot on one of them. Take him down, dude. Just spraying them all down. You don't need to panic when you're shooting at these guys. If you're going to panic, then you're probably not going to land your shot. Eventually, you'll get into the habit of like changing your spray and stuff like that. It comes with time. It really does come with time. Vandal spray seems a little bit more nutty than the Phantom, so it's going to be pretty similar. Goes down, or goes up to the right, to the left, back up to the right. Phantom, do this one again. Pretty much the same thing, honestly. Spraying with this gun, it's a little bit more important to hit your shots because you only have 25 shots. It's 5 less than the Phantom. It's going to be pretty much the same spray, it looks like. Just do the same thing. You can practice this in the shooting range. That's generally what this area is for. Going to be a one hit to the head from any range, which is pretty cool. If you wanted to tap shoot with this guy, you can come over to the range here. You can kind of just tap these guys in the head. Practice shoot them all, dude. Take your time with your shots too. If you're kind of going through this range, I've noticed a lot of the times when I get speedy, I start to like pick up my pace, you know. And it's like, dude, if you're not landing your shots, you're not training yourself correctly. Make sure you're aiming on the head, tap. Aim on the head, tap. Aim on the head, tap. And you'll eventually improve at this. You'll get faster with these boys. I'm going to show you some angles that I generally play, or I'll choose the Phantom over the Vandal in the actual game. They cost the same price, so the reasons that you would choose one over the other in a lot of these situations is going to be based off of statistics or based off of preference, you know. If you prefer a Phantom over a Vandal in pretty much all situations, that's totally okay. The difference between the one hit to the head and the 2 hit to the head won't make too massive of a difference at most ranks of play. But also recognize that if you both fire the bullet at the same time, the Vandal is going to win in most situations. So, the Vandal is statistically a stronger gun, just in the sense that it can one hit to the head all the time. If you're landing your shots with the Vandal, this is going to be the gun to go with. That's, of course, speaking from a 1v1 situation, though, as well. If you're taking this gun in, like, a multiple situation, there's multiple targets, it might be better to go with a faster fire rate on something like the Phantom. Situationally, look at that, dude. Lots of different situations. So, for example, the positions that I like to use the Phantom at are generally, I like to use it in the middle of this map. This range is around 0 to 20-ish meters, so it won't always be a one-tap to the head from this distance, I don't think. But, so, say a target comes out here and they're trying to peek you. If they do have head armor, it's going to be a one hit to the head, 2 hits right there. It'll take 2 hits to kill them. So, something like that. Whereas if you're using the Vandal at this range, it's going to be a one hit. So that first one tap will be good, but if they push out here, I do like the extra fire rate to mow a target down. Plus, if you're playing an angle like this, if they get up close, it's going to be a one tap to the head. If you wanted to fall back, play something like this as well. I prefer this position just because I like to also be able to help at B. Generally, B is a site that we put like a solo player on B, somewhere like Sage, where they can just wall off this area, they can slow it. A site generally feels like it needs the most attention on this map. I also like to run the Phantom from a range like this. Just in case the target's coming around the corner, I can like shoot them from this area. One hit to the head, generally from a distance like this. You can take this target down. I think that's a pretty good spot for it. However, if I was going to be holding the same angle up here, I would hold it with a Vandal. Just because there's a little bit more distance, I like the one tap to the head from this distance if somebody's peeking around this corner. If you come over here, you do close the gap a little bit right here, and if they start pushing up, then you can kind of back up here. Again, you'll be playing a longer angle-ish, so a Vandal will sometimes be better than a one tap at this range. That's when I prefer it anyway. If I was to be playing B, I would be playing the longer angles on this map, generally, with the Vandal. If somebody's going to be peeking this tunnel, I like to have the one tap so I can get the first pick, and then I can back up. If I'm playing Sage, I play Sage a lot. I will throw my orb right here to slow him up. Say he comes in to peek this angle. Some people like to play aggressive up there too. I generally just play back. If he comes around that corner, you can headshot him. Drop the wall if his team's pushing. Even slow if you think that they're going to shoot through the wall. There's lots of different things that you can do with the Vandal. A lot of the times people will play upper too. If I'm going to play upper, I'd rather use an op, but if I don't have an op, I can play it with a Vandal. I don't love this position over here. You don't really have like anywhere to go if they poke out. You're kind of exposed. This would be one of the angles I would check when I'm entering sight over here to shoot this target down, generally. If you're playing this angle, it's a little bit better. You can kind of get some picks here. A lot of the times they will wall this off right here, though, when they're pushing in, which will make it difficult to shoot them. That's a bad wall right there, but, you know, they place it a little bit closer or something. Something like that. Hard to really see any targets coming out of that. You can't shoot through the wall either, so it's difficult to deal with. CT would be the next place I would play on this site if they pushed in. I think both the Phantom and the Vandal have different preferences on different sites, right? So on a map like Bind, for example, you'd be using the Phantom very frequently on A site, whereas on the B site, it's a little bit longer ranges. So you'll be running the Vandal in more situations like that. So for example, on a map like Haven, generally I would play the long site with a Vandal or an op at this preferably. Generally, the Vandal's going to be a one hit to the head. If I ran with the Phantom, it would not be a one hit from this range, right? So if I tapped him in the head, it's going to take 2 hits to kill him. Whereas with the Vandal, it'll be a one hit right there. Standing. Whereas if I were to play like a short or something, I would prefer to use the Phantom at a range like this. If you're going to play aggressive, especially right here to this doorway, if they're pushing down this, you can easily mow them down, one hit to the head. If you're going to pull back again around 15 meters right here, this is going to be a very good spot for the Phantom. It'll be the same thing for C-Long over here. If I was going to play C-Long from this angle, I'd want to use a Vandal at pretty much any spot here. This is such a long route right here. For me to hold this angle with a Phantom, it's going to be very difficult. Not very difficult, but for me to hold this angle with a Phantom, it's going to be less optimal than a Vandal. A Vandal will just be one hit to the head. Whereas if you're going to be holding down an angle like this in Windows, in Garage, maybe you use a Phantom. So you're going to be pushing in this around 15 meters. Once you get to, like, if you're aiming down doors, that's a little bit longer distance. Maybe you'd want to use a Vandal at that range. But at a range like this or something, I don't think that there's any problem with holding down this angle as somebody pushes in, mow them down. Especially if you're going to play aggressive right here, you can poke out here. Once you aim down window, maybe that's a better position for a Vandal, but, you know, it's really up to you. The distance on this isn't too bad. You could 2-tap to the head also from Garage. So a 2-tap isn't necessarily as terrible as we've seen. It's pretty easy to fire 2 bullets with a Phantom, take somebody out. If you're going to play an angle like this, I've used both the Phantom and the Vandal at this angle. It's not terrible. 2-tap to the head, it's not too bad. Overall, it's mostly going to come down to preference for yourself. If you like the Phantom better, if you feel like you do better with the Phantom, run the Phantom, you know? Statistically, the AK is going to be a one-hit headshot from all ranges. So if you wanted to go for that one-hit headshot, if you like the one-tap, so you can one-tap from this distance. Maybe later we'll go into like guns like the Guardian. Guardian's a one-hit to the head at any distance as well. It is a semi-automatic though, so a lot of people prefer this gun right now. I think that's just because it's a lot easier to focus on those one taps than it is for me to try to spray with the Vandal. After you fire your first bullet, you want to spray with the Vandal. Generally, it seems like a lot of people want to do that. I prefer to just burst fire it at a range like this. Just burst fire. That's all you got to do. It's a one hit to the head. Just burst fire somebody down. If you miss your headshot, that doesn't matter. You'll hit those body shots. It'll be 4 body shots to kill them. So anyway, that's going to do it for this guide. Let me know which gun you prefer out of the two. If you've been playing CS, you probably prefer the Vandal over the M4, but maybe it's different. I prefer the Phantom mostly in most situations. That's why I like to play those angles that are a little bit closer. But just recognize in which situations you should probably be purchasing the guns and how you should use them. My name is The King Live. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like down below, and join the Discord. We have so many freaking awesome people in there. We have a lot of people looking for groups and stuff for Valorant as well. So if you're looking for people to play with, you can definitely check out the Discord. Other than that, thank you guys for watching again, and I will see you in my next video.